Welcome to yet another episode of SmackDown Live, and it's got a tough show to follow after that belter of a Raw. Holy fuck, it's going to catch up in the ratings. But we're kicking off tonight's show with the current tag feud. The Bar been feuding with Undisputed Era for the past few weeks after winning a #1 contendership against the Street Profits. They actually jumped Undisputed Era last week, getting the upper hand on their future opponents. Tonight, they have an opportunity to pick the stipulation for the match at Extreme Rules. Sheamus will be representing them in one-on-one combat.
Making his way to the ring, accompanied by Cesaro, representing the Bar from Dublin, Ireland, weighing in at 267 pounds, the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus!
So this isn't going to be the only stipulation match that we have tonight. In fact, following this one, we've got Nia Jax versus Charlotte Flair, an early preview of the match that's going to happen at the pay-per-view, and they're going to get an opportunity to pick their stipulation. But we've got Kyle O'Reilly being the volunteer. Bobby Fish deciding not to carry Roderick Strong's United States Championship. He is in fact in action later on tonight for the first time since winning the belt. Here we go, Celtic Warrior Sheamus and Kyle O'Reilly, who did a good job of dodging early on from Sheamus there, but now getting hit with some thunderous blows, and there's a lariat taking down Kyle O'Reilly. Sheamus clearly pretty proud of himself. We're not quite sure who the crowd are more behind this time around during this feud. Usually they'd be behind Undisputed Era, but the Bar have been pretty top notch. There's a chop block to Sheamus taking down the Great White. Sheamus and Cesaro have never fought Undisputed Era in just casual 2-on-2 competition, I don't believe. I don't remember it happening last season. Kyle O'Reilly now with some repeated kicks in the corner to a grounded Great White, and now looking for a springboard leg drop. Sheamus' head bouncing off the edge of that LED board. Every little injury is going to count towards the pay-per-view, and with such a violent pay-per-view, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how the tag match, the SmackDown tag match, sets itself apart from not only the Raw tag match, which we know is going to be featured, but the women's tag match and the rest of the matches. They've got an opportunity here to not only pick a stipulation, but pick a unique stipulation. We could see them picking a ladder match, a steel cage match. I mean, we could even see them pick a Hell in a Cell, because it's winner's choice at this point. They can pick whatever they like, whoever wins this match. And at the moment, it wasn't earlier, but now it's looking like Sheamus might have Kyle O'Reilly's number. Kyle O'Reilly scurrying back into the ring, straight into a fireman's carry position there from Sheamus. And a rolling senton takes down Kyle O'Reilly. You can see Cesaro there at ringside. Bobby Fish in the corner of O'Reilly. As mentioned, Roderick Strong's going to be battling later on in the evening. Adam Cole taking a break after last week's win against Andrade. Oh my god, and another chop block takes down Sheamus. You can see Kyle O'Reilly certainly picked his target, and that seems to be the left leg of Sheamus. Sheamus now dragging O'Reilly away from those ropes. If he wants to attempt a pinfall, he needs to make sure O'Reilly doesn't get a rope break. We've also got some cross-brand tag division action later in the form of the women's tag division. But for now, Sheamus repeating knees. Note using the right knee, not the left. The left's been damaged by Kyle O'Reilly earlier in the match. It's going to be interesting to see whether that actually factors into Extreme Rules or not. And now an overhead belly-to-belly from Sheamus. Kyle O'Reilly almost bouncing off that corner turnbuckle. Irish whip into an opposite corner. There's a clothesline. And Sheamus, we don't see him go to the top very often, but when he does, it's certainly thunderous. And O'Reilly moves out of the way. Front headlock now. He's got hold of the wrist in that wrist lock position. Hammerlock back suplex. Kyle O'Reilly really focusing on each of Sheamus's limbs. Kick to the midsection from O'Reilly. Sheamus teetering down into the brainbuster. Referee right there to count it. And almost a free off of the brainbuster. But Sheamus managing to get the shoulder up. O'Reilly in control and now going for the guillotine choke. Wrapping the legs around the body scissors. And it looks like Sheamus is fading. Very, very slowly. No, the arm's moving and he's wriggling around. Sheamus managing to loosen the grip. And the Great White rises. Oh my god. And both Sheamus and O'Reilly plummet down to the mat. And now, there's the backbreaker. And he keeps him hooked in. There's the second. And a trifecta of backbreakers. Look at Sheamus. Holy shit. Sheamus not looking happy at all with Kyle O'Reilly. And now just waiting for O'Reilly. O'Reilly though, I think Sheamus hasn't even noticed. There's a snapmare. Ooh, maybe Sheamus did notice. There's a brogue! Holy fuck! Pinfall. 1, 2. Oh my god, and O'Reilly just kicked out of a brogue kick. Sheamus could be making a fatal mistake. Going after Bobby Fish rather than going after Kyle O'Reilly. In the long run it might be a good thing. Injure both of these men before they can even get to the pay-per-view. Brogue kick to Fish. And Kyle O'Reilly heading out there to help his teammate and chase off Sheamus. And now back into the ring. A forearm strike followed by another. Looking for another neck breaker, taking down Sheamus. And Sheamus forced to roll to the side of the ring where he's just laid out Bobby Fish. Fish managing to get back to his feet. Fish is allowed to throw in Bobby Fish into the ring without it being a disqualification, as long as he doesn't directly hit him or throw him into anything to cause harm. You can see Undisputed Era now. Oh my god, and Sheamus fighting back, but Kyle O'Reilly's right there with a combination. Flat on his back on that mat. And O'Reilly now looking for another guillotine on the Great White. Sheamus has taken a lot more damage than he had earlier, but he's managing to fight against O'Reilly. Again, if Kyle gets this win, they pick the stipulation and Sheamus is forced to tap out. For the sake of his own health, he's forced to tap out. Kyle O'Reilly and the Undisputed Era get to pick the stipulation for Extreme Rules.
Here is your winner, Kyle O'Reilly.
Moving on, and like I said, we've got another stipulation choosing match. Nia Jax, the current SmackDown Women's Champion. And she's going to be taking on her future opponent, Charlotte Flair. Winner will get to pick the Oh! And speaking of Charlotte Flair, matching Nia Jax's Tron graphics. Oh dear, Nia. Oh! On the steel! Holy shit! And Charlotte Flair attacking Nia Jax in advance. Nia pushing her away though. Oh, and there's an STO on the steel. Holy shit. These two women are going to battle it out in an Extreme Rules match. There's a little taster of what's going to happen at the upcoming pay-per-view. We're only one more show away from it. Oh, one more SmackDown show. One more week. Oh, God, and a power slam position. And Charlotte getting dumped on the top rope by Nia. Nia Jax now back in control of this. She's managed to pull it back. Trying to get a wrist lock on Charlotte Flair, trying to keep it cinched in. But Charlotte with some gut punches. The Queen battling Nia Jax. The leg screw there. Trying to weaken the legs for that figure 8 submission. She's made Nia tap out once. If she can do it again, she gets to pick the stipulation. The ball will be in her field, or in her court, or whatever you'd like to play your ball-based sports game on. And now, Irish whip to Nia. There's a back elbow, but Nia doesn't tumble. Snapmare just shrugging it off. And a headbutt to the back of Flair's noggin. Looks like Nia might be joining her up there. Uh-oh. Looking for a superplex. There it is! Superplex to Flair. Flair springing up though. Went for the back elbow. Nia dodged out the way. Charlotte Flair using adrenaline to kip up out of that. After that brutal move. And Nia now going to the corner. Charlotte though with repeated punches to the face of Jax. There's the spear. And now referee 1, 2, and Nia gets the shoulder up. Charlotte Flair is going to have to try a little bit harder than that. Though after the initial attack on Nia, she's got to be the one with the advantage. Kick to the gut. Now looking for a natural selection to Nia. Charlotte Flair going for the pin. She could have a 1, 2. There it is, Charlotte. The advantage from the entrance attack now gets to pick the stipulation for the upcoming event. So after that shockingly short match, we've got some more Undisputed Era action. Don't worry, we've got some more Women's Division action later on in the night when we see some more Tag Division. And we've got Roderick Strong, current United States Champion, not bringing his championship out. He's not got much respect for the championship, but as you can see, he is the current champion. Deciding to leave it backstage with the rest of Undisputed Era. He's going to be fighting one-on-one. And he's not done that since the very first SmackDown. It's been over a month, but he's finally coming back to in-ring action. He's been hiding away with that championship. Undisputed Era suffered a loss earlier tonight, but they might have an opportunity to pick up a win here against Humberto Carrillo, former member of the Super Junior division, coming to SmackDown. He was originally drafted to NXT, but things got briefly switched around just after the draft. We had a couple of exchanges, including Humberto Carrillo, who's now a regular member of the SmackDown roster, looking to make an impression in the mid-card division of the blue brand. Will Humberto Carrillo pick up a well-needed win against the Undisputed Era's Roderick Strong, or will he just be cannon fodder to the men that are trying to fulfill a prophecy of SmackDown Live and obtain all of the gold? Roderick Strong and Humberto Carrillo, brilliant competitors. We've seen them both in brilliant matches over the past couple of years, especially Humberto over the past couple of weeks, feuding very, very briefly with Drew Gulak and some of the other Super Juniors in that division. And drop kicks from both men, matching each other. Oh my god, and a leaping knee and an enziguri attempt. Both men matching each other at the moment. Roderick Strong's got a date with Ricochet at Extreme Rules. We don't know what the stipulation for that will be. But there's a backbreaker, the start of what is going to be a very, very torturous experience for the back of Humberto Carrillo. And there's another. Roderick Strong's certainly found his target. We've seen Undisputed Era use tactics of targeting the body parts of their opponents throughout the night, with Kyle O'Reilly starting with the left leg of Sheamus, and now Roderick Strong moving on to the lower spine of Humberto Carrillo, catching the leg at that attempted roundhouse kick. And Roderick Strong sent back into the ring, managing to divert his way around that ring post. He almost went face first into it, but luckily enough, he had just enough time to move himself out of the way. Standing shooting star press from Humberto, who, after failing in the Super Junior division, we might see him back there at some point. But for now, just like Ricochet, he's moving into the mid-card of SmackDown, going to get an opportunity at that title. They are pretty much on the same level as each other, just one has an actual weight classification to it. And now Humberto to the top turnbuckle, corkscrew moonsault off of the top, and Roderick Strong could fall victim here to a loss early on in his universe mode career. We didn't see him much of last year, after he got injured in an early Super Juniors match. There's a super kick to the chin. And Roderick Strong, metaphorically, physically, on the ropes here, thanks to Humberto. Humberto going to the outside and now looking for a back suplex onto the apron, and he hits it. Putting some space between him and Humberto, looking for a back suplex. Humberto, though, with a headlock, taking down Strong. And Carillo putting up a surprising showing. We could see more than one triple threat at Extreme Rules if Carillo wins this match. These two men on the outside catching the roundhouse kick again. Roderick Strong one step ahead of Humberto so far. Looking for a powerbomb on the outside. Oh no, he's diverting. Humberto. Oh my god! Running powerbomb. If anything's going to do damage to the back, it's that. Holy shit. Roderick Strong telling the referee to count Humberto out, but Humberto managing to get back up before the count of 10. But Roderick's there waiting to attack the back. He might not have gotten the count out, but he's done a hefty amount of damage after that. And now punch to the face. Back suplex face breaker by Strong. And now could be looking for the end. That powerbomb on the outside really turned the tides of battle for Humberto. What in the world? End of heartache. There's a free count. Roderick. Dastardly tactics, but they worked for him.
Here is your winner,
Roderick Strong. Oh my god. Going back over to Humberto, who's barely getting to his feet. And now going after the back again. Pump handle backbreaker. We need to get some referees out here. Roderick Strong just going ballistic on Humberto. Humberto got a hefty amount of offense in during that match. And now carrying him to the middle of the ring. Oh my god, double knee gutbuster. But he's not finished with him yet. Just throwing around Humberto like a chew toy at the moment. Suplex possession. End of heartache again. Now for some women's tag division action. And we've got the debut of a new team. We saw their alliance blossom at the end of last season. Carmella and Naomi. Hashtag dance break. We're starting to see tag teams of mild variety start to debut this season as the tag division. I mean, it lost the horsewomen, but I mean, it's gained hashtag dance break, which is a good thing. Especially for Instagram accounts that like showing close-ups of female anatomy. As mentioned, hashtag dance break we saw actually sort of blossomed at the end of last season when they were on NXT. They both battled Dakota Kai one-on-one. They were trying to help each other win. That's where we saw the friendship sort of bloom. And now they've clearly... I can't even remember where Naomi and Carmella have been drafted to. Oh, they are actually on SmackDown. But we've got Beth Phoenix, one half of the Divas of Doom. And Beth Phoenix's tag partner. I had a bit of a struggle getting Beth Phoenix out of my mouth then. Don't take that out of context. But yes, Beth Phoenix's tag partner Natalya. They made their debut a couple of weeks ago against number one contenders at the time and still number one contenders, the Kabuki Warriors, where they unfortunately lost, but they're here again. We need to start developing the tag division even more. So Beth Phoenix and Naomi starting out this match. And straight off the bat, Naomi using her speed tilt-a-world armbar. Taking down Beth Phoenix. Phoenix rolls out of it though. Oh my god, and charges Naomi. There's a lariat to take her down. And now Naomi back up though with her front flip clothesline. Takes down Phoenix. Tag made to Carmella. Mella is money after all. And now Carmella and Beth Phoenix facing off for the first time. Kick to the midsection. Looks like it's not going to end well for Carmella. Beth Phoenix, the modern day equivalent to China. That's right, I bloody said it. We've had larger women in universe mode. I mean, we've got one as the current SmackDown Women's Champion, Nia Jax. We had Tamina with Nia last season to form the Samoan Slaughterhouse. And this season we've got the return of Beth Phoenix. She did appear last season very briefly, but this season she's got a full-time contract. And she's definitely the muscle of the team between her and her best friend Natalya. Double foot stomp from Carmella to the gut of Natalya. And tag made to Naomi. Quick tags between #dance break. And you can actually see Naomi starting a... Well, she was starting a #dance break, but Natalya not too happy with it. There's a clothesline sending Natalya out of the ring. Naomi... Oh my, I don't know what she's yelling to her, but she weren't too happy about Natalya interrupting that little dance session that she was having. Telling her to get back into the ring, and Natalya's doing so. And Irish whip. Naomi into the corner. Naomi fighting back though. Oh my god, Naomi, the winner of the first ever Women's Money in the Bank briefcase. She tried to cash in against Nia Jax. I believe. No, she didn't. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. I thought it was Nikki Bella, but no, it wasn't. There was a steel cage match between Nia and Nikki Bella, and Naomi tried to cash in another dance break attempt, but Beth Phoenix, short-armed clothesline, takes down Naomi. Section. Beth Phoenix now. There's a spine buster. A one-armed spine buster. She'd caught the leg. And followed by an axe handle, levels Naomi and managing to... Well, I thought she was going to make the tag to Natalya, but Natalya refusing. She don't want to get into the ring with Naomi after their last exchange. Naomi leveled Natalya, so I don't really blame her. Tag made now to Carmella. Knee strikes to the midsection of Beth Phoenix. And now dance break looking for a double suplex, and they get it. Natalya fully willing to tag in now that Naomi's left the ring. I think she's a little bit threatened by the skill of Naomi after she reversed the dance break attack earlier. And Beth Phoenix now working on the arm of Carmella. Carmella still quite fresh. Natalya looking to stop Carmella from making that hot tag though. Oh my god, a bionic-esque elbow. Natalya gets sent over the top rope in a similar fashion to how Naomi did earlier on. Naomi sent her flying over with a clothesline, and Carmella doing the same. Natalya getting back into the ring. I think I said clothesline there. But it's fine, I don't think anybody noticed. And an Irish whip sends Natalya... no, it doesn't. I'm so confused. Sends Naomi barreling off the side of the ring, thanks to Carmella getting all my women mixed up. Natalya looking to dive off the top rope. Carmella dodges out the way. Hot tag made to Naomi. Oh, heel kick. There's a roundhouse kick. I'm not playing as her. Something's going on. Tag made back to Carmella now. Double Irish whip to Natalya. Oh my god, and a spear clotheslining combination. And there's a super kick by Carmella to Natalya. 1, 2, and Phoenix breaks up the pin. Elbow strike to Phoenix. I've almost leapt out my chair. There's a forearm. Carmella going mental. Telling Natalya to get to her feet. I don't think Natalya even knows where she is. She's been super kicked. Her chin's in the front row. Drop kick to the spine. She's missed. Natalya, what are you doing? Oh my god, going for a powerbomb. There it is. 1, 2. Oh, Carmella with a kick out at 2. Carmella now. Inverted DDT to Phoenix. But she's in between Phoenix and Natalya, not letting her get that tag. There's the downward spiral. And now trying to lock in the code of silence. She could make Phoenix tap, but Phoenix is straight out of it. Almost immediately. Oh, axe handle attempt. Super kick. Holy shit. Carmella's going to pin Beth Phoenix. 1, 2. Dance break of 1, but the game's frozen again. So we were told that this match would be the main event, but I'm being told now by SmackDown General Manager Paul Heyman that it is in fact not. He's been approached by somebody backstage, and the show is being extended slightly, but we're going to have to wait and see what happens. But for now, we've got Fatal 4-Way Tag Action. The Street Profits back out here. This isn't for #1 contendership, it's to gain some leverage in the tag division, because a lot of tag teams are on the same level, and we need a clear runner-up, basically. Somebody that can start moving towards the Undisputed Era once the bar have finished if they don't pick up the belts. So we've got the first team out, and now we've got Lucha House Party. Only 2 members of them, Gran Metalik backstage. And they've taken a few weeks out of action. My fucking voice is going after that previous tag match. They've taken a few weeks out of action. The Revival are now back. They were injured from WrestleMania after their match with Mustache Mountain. Forced to battle, I believe it was Undisputed Era. It looks like we've got a Hardy Boy return. That's the Hardy Boys music. There's the Tron. There's Jeff, one half of the Hardy Boys. So it is confirmed that, I guess it is the Hardy Boys. I don't know where Matt is. We would usually see them both come out together. Jeff Hardy also donning face paint for the first time in Universe Mode history. So Jeff Hardy's... oh god. Jeff Hardy's tag team partner. It looks like Paul Heyman isn't the only man to form an alliance with the devil himself, the Fiend. The dark alter ego of Bray Wyatt. We saw the Fiend have an allegiance with Matt Hardy last season. It looks like he's made some sort of pact with Jeff as well. Could this be the start of something bigger? So we've got a stacked out ring. We've got the Street Profits looking to battle Jeff Hardy and the Fiend. The Fiend straight out of the ring. This is elimination, by the way. The Fiend straight out of the ring. We've got Lucha House Party tangling with the Revival. Lince Dorado looking to battle the Fiend, but gets hit with a crossbody on the outside. Holy shit. Lince just got absolutely flattened by Bray Wyatt, and now pummeling shots in the corner. Inverted Rana in the ring by Kalisto to Dash Wilder. It's going to be interesting to see whether the Revival are 100% or not yet. Montez Ford and Lince Dorado making some kind of mishmash team against the Fiend now. And Montez Ford just pushed Lince Dorado into the Fiend's way. Jeff Hardy in the ring on his own at the moment, battling the other member of the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins. Reversal, landing a crossbody onto Dawkins into the ring. And Dash Wilder now on the corner of the ring with the Fiend, managing to flip out the back suplex. Drop toe hold. I think the Fiend might have hit the barricade there. Jeff Hardy battling against two halves of tag teams for a moment until he got flattened. And Lucha House Party have been incredibly impressive so far. Dash Wilder was taking the fight to the Fiend, but now getting flattened by a clothesline. The Fiend and Jeff Hardy, two very different personalities, merging together here. And I'm not just talking about the Fiend. On the ramp now, you can see the Fiend pummeling Kalisto. It'd be interesting to see what each of these men would do against the Fiend one-on-one. Single leg drop kick from Kalisto, managing to get some offense in. But the Fiend straight back on it with a short-armed clothesline. Jeff Hardy fighting off Scott Dawson in the ring. Battling with a revival. Gut punch there by the Fiend and levels Kalisto completely. And a kick out from Lince Dorado. The revival almost eliminated one half of Lucha House Party. There's a Sister Abigail outside of the ring though. Twist of fate to Lince. Both members of the Lucha House Party have been laid out. And Jeff Hardy now going for the pinfall. There it is. Lince's been eliminated. The Fiend going to the top turnbuckle. Big splash by Hardy. Big splash by Fiend. Almost got the pinfall on Dawkins. Holy shit. And now Sister Abigail to Dawson. Pinfall attempt. 1, 2. One half of the revival is gone. We've got two halves of tag teams missing so far. Listo kick by Kalisto. And Kalisto dodging out the way of the claw, and the Fiends realise that Kalisto's going for a pin. The Fiend isn't dumb. And Dawkins gets eliminated. We've got halves of tag teams and Jeff Hardy and the Fiend remaining. The Fiend has just wiped out both Dash Wilder and Kalisto now. Kalisto looking for a possible Code Red Sunset Flip. And the Fiend is right there. Kip up by Montez Ford. Trying to, I don't know, we were going to go for like an overhead belly to belly alley-oop from Jeff Hardy. The Fiend. Jeff Hardy now off the top missile dropkick, but Dash Wilder with Montez Ford in a gory special position. And Kalisto gets hit with the claw. Kalisto could be out cold. 1, 2. There it is. The Fiend has pinned Kalisto. Lucha House Party have been eliminated. And Montez Ford gets eliminated by Wilder. The Fiend getting out of the ring now. A Dash Wilder, brave and courageous. I don't know if he's making the right decision here. The Fiend telling him to follow. Wants to deal some damage on the ramp, but Jeff Hardy intervening. It's 2-on-1. Jeff Hardy now. Swanton bomb off the top to Wilder. Referee. 1, 2. There it is. So my assumption is that we've got... Oh. Okay, my assumption is that we've got some sort of... Wait, what? Holy shit. She doesn't enter with her music when she's got a briefcase, but we know who it is. I was gonna say maybe we've got some sort of top tier main event debut because this has been slotted in at last minute, but no. This is why. This is the reason it's been slotted in at the last minute. Becky Lynch. We saw Nia Jax take that bump on the ramp earlier tonight, and it seems like Becky Lynch wants to take advantage and book herself a one-way ticket, not only onto the blue brand, but to Extreme Rules. Becky Lynch telling the referee she's officially cashing in her Money in the Bank briefcase against Nia Jax, SmackDown Women's Champion. I'm sure Nia Jax is not happy about this at all, being told last minute before she gets to go home. She's got to put her belt on the line, and Charlotte gets to pick the pay-per-view stipulation. I have no idea what that match is going to become. So Nia Jax has been cleared. It's been said that she's not injured. Oh my god, went for a spine buster, but Becky Lynch, who's had the attitude of a pit bull as of late, just attacking anybody as violently as she can. That's not what pit bulls are like, by the way. I'm just, you know, trying to make an impactful metaphor. Please buy pit bulls. They're quite nice dogs. Staffordshire pit bull terrier things. They're very nice dogs. Tom Holland's got one. Forget I said anything. She's got the violent streak and attack offense of a lion. There we go. But now, Nia Jax and Becky Lynch battling for the SmackDown Women's Championship, and Becky Lynch is on NXT. She could have cashed in on any of the 3 women's champions after winning the Money in the Bank briefcase. We've had one cash in on NXT. I'm quite surprised that we've seen Becky Lynch come out here tonight, but then again, she is taking advantage of an injured Nia Jax. Strategies. It works for people when executed correctly. Drop kicks and European uppercuts, and there's a Larry shoulder barge taking down Nia. Becky Lynch, who is completely fresh. Nia Jax has already lost to Charlotte Flair tonight, and now having to battle Becky Lynch. There's a lariat. Oh my god! And dodging the drop kick from Lynch. What in the world? Nia Jax with a ferocious roar. And it might be worth noting that this is the first time Becky Lynch and Nia Jax have faced off one-on-one. They've always been on separate brands. And when they've been on the same brands, they've just never had the opportunity to face each other. Becky Lynch going after the arm. The arm of Nia Jax, targeting it the best that she can. Determined to maybe not injure her, but just weaken her enough so that she can lock in that disarmer submission. Nia Jax, though, constantly fighting back, a back body drop. But Becky Lynch going after the leg of Nia. Nia's been, well, she had been dominant until Charlotte came along. And now she's got to battle Becky Lynch. And now Becky, with a Bexploder, sends Nia almost the length of the ring. The strength of Becky Balboa. And now, what is Becky looking for? Kick to the midsection. She's not going for the arm. Manhandle slam. There's the pin. 1, 2. And she's pinned Nia Jax. Becky Lynch is your new SmackDown Women's Champion. What a turn of events. Now a 2-time SmackDown Women's Champion, Becky Lynch, and she goes to Extreme Rules. But who in the world does she face? What happens?